Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all grinding well in Warframe. Recently I put up a poll asking what type of Warframe content would you guys be most interested in, and apparently almost half of you lot voted for Liches. Actually, I expected Railjack to do a lot better than that, especially after the recent hotfixes, but I guess the whole concept surrounding that game mode just isn't appealing to most Warframe players, at least not yet. To be honest, right now, the only fun I can see in Railjack content is immediately hijacking someone's ship. I am the captain now. It's like that one time in high school when I repeatedly tried to woo this girl who repeatedly rejected me. It never ends well. Never will. DE, please take notes from my personal oof story. Anyways, for all of you who didn't vote Liches, don't worry, I am gonna focus more on that part of Warframe, as boring as it may be to some people, but we'll still slot in a video or two of perhaps rant pieces or something that's not even Warframe, until the next update at least. If you have yet to take down your first Lich or don't really know the ins and outs regarding the Lich system, then I suggest checking out a general guide like the one I made over here. It's a little dated and some things may not apply, but it's still good enough to get a general idea of how things work. This Ultimate Lich Hunter series will emphasize on Warframe builds and synergies, no general tips and tricks other than those that are closely related to the Warframe being discussed. Alrighty, for the first part in this Lich Hunting series, we're gonna take the easy route and go with basically the meta frame for Lich Hunting. And no, Baruch is not the meta. You will never win, Baruch mains. Maybe in the next video, but no promises. Here's the build that I currently run. It may seem a little different to what most people have set up, which usually means I screwed up somewhere, but this works really well for me, and I'll explain why. A tiny reminder though, before we get into that boyos, I am still kinda surprised that Revenant hasn't been nerfed in some way with regards to how his abilities work against Liches. This build is for Revenant as of hotfix 27.1.2. February 18th, 2020. Just in case. You guys know how DE likes to whip us. Now, most of my builds on basically everything includes mods that are not maxed out, because I still have endo problems in 2020. But over here, perhaps with the exception of Umbral Intensify, all of these mods are purposefully ranked to make this whole thing work with a 0 Forma Revenant. Call it a poor boy build if you'd like, but it saves me time and effort. And Forma. Says the guy who has 100 Forma Chroma. Since we're gonna be slaughtering Grineer and Mass, Corrosive Projection seemed like the obvious choice for me. But if you want to stuff in Shield Disruption just because, well, go ahead then. So long as you don't re-hit me in the comments. The combo of Streamline and Fleeting Expertise helps to compensate for the efficiency loss from a rank 4 Blind Rage. If you'd like more power strength, then feel free to sub Augur Message out for something else like Augur's Secrets perhaps. I've decided on prioritizing energy efficiency over energy pool, which is why you don't see a prime to flow here. High efficiency lets me play with Dance Macabre for a little longer, and who doesn't love Spin to Win? I can feel the hate comments already. Dance Macabre feels really great to use in Exterminate missions, especially on cramped tile sets like the infested Corpus ships for example. Natural Talent helps a great deal here too, cause I usually hit 4 in short 2 to 3 second bursts, which is all you need really. That thing deals some serious damage. Of course, the improved casting time does help with Revenant's third ability, Reeve, as well. It's not a massive difference, but it is still significant, and since there's no real need to bump up any of his other stats here, I feel like Natural Talent more than makes up for the slot it occupies. As for Arcanes, you can really go with anything here. Arcane Energize is not necessary for this particular setup with Revenant. I feel like there are better ways to charge up. Energy Pizzas or even a Death Cube feel like better alternatives. But if you want to run a rank 3 Arcane Energize, that's fine. And speaking of energy regen, Zeneric would be a nice focus school to go for. Almost eliminates energy problems, and if you have the whole thing unlocked, there are some nice CC options in there relating to Void Dash and Void Blast. Unaru could be nice for the armor reduction, but it's kinda meh I think Zenoric is the overall better option since you're gonna want to make sure you have enough energy to keep Mesmer Skin topped up at all times. Also, the passive, which gives you heavy attack efficiency, is nice if you're running a heavy setup on your melee. But of course, these are just suggestions. You could even hunt Liches without having any of the focus schools unlocked, and you'd still be fine for the most part. But of course, it helps to have your operator unlocked, at least for spamming transference with some arcanes. Magus Elevate is, well, since you're gonna rely on Mesmer Skin primarily, it's not really needed. You can put something else here, I can't particularly pick, but make sure you have at least one Magus Lockdown, the most OP arcane in this game. I can't believe it exists, but I can't play Warframe anymore without this. If you don't have one, get yourself a Magus Lockdown, one of the best ways to crowd control in Warframe. What if you don't have a rank 3 arcane energize or prefer to run a different focus school? Then I highly suggest Death Cube Prime as a companion. I really like Death Cube Prime. Death Cube Prime is best cube. The energy regen from Zenoric should already be enough, but I like Energy Generator because it means I have a lot more in reserve just to spam Dance Macabre. But hey, if you're using a weapon that has ammo issues, then feel free to go with Carrier Prime. That's a great choice too. Finally, for weapons, run anything you want, guys. That may sound like a lazy answer, but the thing with Revenant is you are going to rely pretty much 100% on his Reeve for taking down the Lich. So that eliminates the need of having to build absolutely OP weapons, but it's also not that difficult to build something that would make the Grineers run pissed scared in the other direction. Okay, they don't really run away like that, but you can show them the barrel's end of your Redeemer Prime. Personally, these are the weapons I use. The Kuva Burma is great even for Grineers way above level 100, and if you'd like to know more about that specific weapon, I do have a video, and I'll probably link it in the description for you to check out. You should already have kit guns unlocked before you even think of going Lich hunting. Catch Moon is amazing for clearing out Grineers really fast. Rattle Guts is awesome too. The innate radiation does help when dealing with bombards. I do recommend having at least a one-shot weapon in your arsenal for the later stages in hunting when the enemy levels get to like level 90 and above. Remember, Kuva Thralls have an innate 20% damage reduction, so something like a level 100 Corrupted Bombard Eximus Thrall, goddamn, that's a mouthful, would be a real chunky boy. Though a Redeemer Prime built for heavies or a Glitch Zaw would make quick work of those guys. I've made videos for both, you can find them on the channel, or perhaps I'll leave a link to them as well down in the description. Revenant with the build I've shown you does not have a whole lot of health, so it is imperative that you keep Mesmer Skin topped up. If the charges drop to 2, just hit that button and refresh your thick Forsk Mesmer Skin. If you'd like your Thralls to last longer, you could put more duration into the build. It helps make missions like survival and mobile defense easier. But keep in mind, the whole point of murmur farming is to farm the murmurs, not to finish the mission in record time. Kuva Thralls spawn as you kill more and more enemies, so if you take 10 minutes to finish a capture mission but get to stabby stab all 10 Thralls that naturally spawn per mission, then you did good. The Kuva Lich itself won't be an issue for your weapons until it hits rank 4 or 5. At that point, just use your wand and thrall the Lich for a short period, just enough time to aim your Reeve trajectory. Remember, you can hit the button again mid-Reeve to stop, well, reaving. Use this to your advantage, and usually a couple of Reeves should put the Lich down on its knees. Wish it was that easy with romantic partners. Leave comments down below on which frame you'd like to see next. I'm thinking Valkyr, Banshee, Baruch maybe? If you'd like more Kuva Lich content, then there will be a playlist on the left here just for you uwu boys and girls. Also, I do have a Discord behind a paywall, just like EA would do it, but if you're interested at all in getting one step closer towards the marshmallow, then head on over to my Patreon page to find out how you can get an instant invite right now. That's all for this one. Catch you guys real soon in the next video.